Today is the 17th of November, which marks 8 years since Mnangagwa took over power from Robert Mugabe. The military intervened when there were allegations that criminals had taken over the state, also taking advantage of the age of Robert Mugabe. Here we are today. I want to hear from you in the comment section. Do you think we are worse or we are better? You let me know, are we better or we are worse than the way we were 8 years ago? I'm afraid we are worse. Even business people are coming out speaking. I heard Chanakira said we are almost losing our country to criminals. Take a listen.
Leadership is important. And if we don't lead well, we can lose the plot. And leadership is not something I think that we've posited it to be. In that it's the title, it's the corner office, it's that unshakable authority. It's the materialism that's creeping in. And I'm seeing more and more of that here in Zimbabwe. It's a shell without a soul. That's how it's grabbing my attention. Somebody remarked the other day, vanhu vachasara vakabata mota nyika yaenda. And for our foreign guests, those are friends from Kenya, South Africa, we're giving out cars like confetti here. And we're losing the soul of the nation in the process. We've got the wrong heroes beginning to emerge, and sheroes as well.
I've always been asking questions. Where are the business people when the country is being run by crooked individuals? Very questionable characters. Money is being dished out, cars. It's shocking. In a country where people can't even maintain hospitals, we don't have proper roads. Most of our roads are potholed, they are gravel across the country. I must say this to you, I think Smith is laughing in heaven. If he is in heaven, if he's in hell, I don't know, maybe, but I'm sure he's laughing and say, we said it. We warned you. It is shameful. Emmerson Mnangagwa has failed beyond reasonable doubt. And I think it's the right time where the military is to do the right thing. You guys can look at the headline. Blessed Geza finally speaks out after all the shenanigans that has been going down, and military intervention is the only way to rescue the country that is in dungeon. It's very sad. Thieves are gallivanting, doing as they please. I'm afraid. But what I do not like about Emerson is that he's a gaslighter. He also lies a lot. Take a listen to what he said when he was addressing drug pandemic.
My government remains resolute in combating the scourge of drug and substance abuse, particularly among our young people. This menace undermines the moral fiber and productivity of our society. Let me make it abundantly clear that there is no room within our security services for those who indulge in or promote such destructive behavior. The nation looks up to you to preserve peace, stability, and public safety. I therefore urge all officers, as well as the youth, to shun drug and substance abuse in all its forms.
All right, I know some of you, it's your first time to come across this channel. You're welcome. Please make sure that you subscribe, like, share, and comment respectively. Your groups, share with others, because we need to make sure that at least every Zimbabwean is involved in the current conversations. I'm not as a fan of, I don't care about politics, because you know what? Politics decides your destiny. So be wise and sober and vigilant. All right, we are moving on. I've told you what I think about Emmerson Mnangagwa. You can hear, he's telling you that he doesn't actually even know who the drug smugglers are, but his own appointed minister, and I'm referring to Tunoma Chakere, is out here reminding you that the guys who are drug smugglers are literally known in the ZANU-PF party. One of the interesting things I've seen being championed by criminals is that they are now holding very much influential positions in the party. They're gallivanting, driving expensive cars, they move around with the bodyguards, and they have no track record. All you see is cars, expensive cars. You ask yourself, where do you work? What business do you run? There is absolutely no track record. It's very sad to watch. This was my response to Emmerson Mnangagwa. I said, ED is aware of the individuals supplying drugs to our children, but acts as if it's beyond reach. Machakaere, one of his appointed ministers, has been confronting drug smugglers who are ZANU-PF members. It's serious. Don't waste our lives. Comrade Geza is back, debunking the so-called reports from Garwe, who said it's time to forgive you. You can come back to the party. And also is fighting for his name. There are so many people who have been masquerading as Geza, sending out information that is incorrect. And one of them, it's a username called Comrade Geza, Ara, Blessed Geza, D, whatever, it's on social media. It has got his face, it's on Twitter. But allegations are, it's from the CIO, meaning the people that are actually working with Emmerson Mnangagwa. So I'm going to read what they wrote out. They said, fellow Zimbabweans, I wish to update you on a decision that I made some weeks ago to resolve all my differences with our party leadership. I had a cordial phone conversation with the president yesterday. After careful consideration, I will contemplate returning to our country. And these are lies, because Geza immediately rebutted those reports. He said, fellow Zimbabweans, I want to emphasize that this is my official verified account. He has his own verified account written, Blessed Geza is also verified. It is pursuing a nefarious agenda. I urge you to ignore it. I remain determined to see the back of Emmerson Mnangagwa. He must go, and he will go, 100%. You guys have seen Geza wearing the camouflage, meaning the military, representing the military. And I've never seen the military distance themselves from Geza, never. Meaning, we are definitely heading towards the time where the right thing has to be done, is to free Zimbabwe from the chains of criminals who are all over the place. Even guys, brazenly so, bragging that money talks. The money that they stole from the Zimbabwean people. We've seen a lot of reports where money is being siphoned out of the country by criminals. And who blesses them? Emmerson Mnangagwa, the very same guy who tells you that I don't even know what's going on with the drug smugglers. He's pretending like he actually cares, but he doesn't. And he's right here, protect criminals. We saw recently when Chiwenga confronted him that Vanakuda Tagwere and Wikino should be behind bars, but to a surprise, he came out and he calls these people philanthropists. And I've always been saying, these gangs, they know their godfather. And he also came out and said, I am the godfather of all these people. And they know if you touch them, if you say something, I will know. And there's quite a number of people who have been unleashed across the country. I think you heard the story of Job Scala, where one of the guys played him, planted explosives in his car. These are the guys that are work for criminals. They're criminals. So they're criminal syndicates. It's a pity because I know some of the people who recently joined the criminal syndicates. I feel for you. It's such a beautiful destiny that you're ruining because of temporary gratification. Zimbabweans, we are better than this. Talking about the dirty games of criminals, they're desperate to silence everyone so that they can be the only people who seems to be shining. But the Zimbabweans are not as stupid, because this modus operandi has been going on for years. I tell you that Kudatagure is all over the place. Is all over the place. I saw some of them polishing his shoes. He's moving around now like a president with the bodyguards. He's be tapping the military, hugging them, but he's not allowed to actually tap the military. But he wants to send this message to you that, no, I am in control. No, these are my friends. It's all a game. That's how criminals operate. Taking pictures with influential people is just profiling themselves so that people trust lies that they tell. But here is the man that so claiming want to be the leader, your leader of Zimbabwe. Kudatagwere, take a listen to him.
Toda kuti imi vezone 2 muwanewo matenda ku government. Isu tichanolobhawo mukatipa tobva taona zvamunoita muzone 2 toenda tonokuregistai kuPras. Takuregistai tobva tatiwo ko vana vedu ava vapeiwo matenda. VeZANU-PF vanhu vari kuwana matenda vanogwisa government yedu. Toda kuti vana vemuZANU-PF vezone 2 vawane matenda. Kana tichita basa remuzone 2 toda kuti titange tatsvaga mwana wemuzone 2 aite basa iroro. Chimwe chaitinetsa ndechekuti pane vanhu vari kuuya muno munyika vachida kuvhura matax shop vari foreigners. Saka zvakawirirana kuconference kuti takuda kuita anonzi reserve sectors ekuti aya masectors anongoitwa nevana vemuno muZimbabwe. Zvakafanana nekuita marori, zvakafanana nekuita retail stations. Izvi hatidi vanhu vekunze, toda vana vemuno muZimbabwe. Chechina chatakawirirana kuconference, takawirirana isu kuti munzvimbo dzega including zone 2 tinofanira kuita wifi yemahara public places.
Does that sound like someone who can lead a country? He's promising you tenders. You know, I've said to someone, I wish if I was in his shoes, what they could have done was to build my industries, right? Making sure they introduce skills at and really make changes in society. I can guarantee you people were going to just say, we believe in you. But imagine buying cars, buying cars and giving people money. Is that how you build the economy of the country? The guy's daft. He was okay when he was in the back, not saying anything. The day he opened his mouth, everything fell apart. He has nothing to offer. He's a waste of time. But you always remember that criminals thrive on sowing violence and discord. They're the ones behind abductions, torture, and killings that has been going on over the years. They buy people, the gullible ones, giving them money thinking I'm loved. No, they have expectations to do their dirty work. We can see now they're on a mission to pollute the country by fake gifts to the masses, promise them hampers and cars. What hurts me the most when I saw a very provocative dances that were done by one of their musicians. The name is, I think there's Maloti and the husband. Look at those big pictures. This is the content that your children are consuming. And the man claims to be a leader and that he can bring freedom to Zimbabwe. Forget it. And like I said to you before, he's just wasting his time because it will not happen. Not under watch. Zimbabwe will be freed very soon. They're desperate. Temba is out here again screaming around. I think I'm going to look at that story a little bit later on. But you also know recently that they were desperate to push Chiwenga's wife out of the military because she's actually the director of the military intelligence, meaning she knows everything that they do. So because these criminals want to control all our institutions, which is actually very sad. But you know what Justice Mavedzenga said recently? For those that were paying attention, that when all our institutions are captured, there will be only one way to free Zimbabwe, is for the military to intervene. Unfortunately, we are heading towards that because the men, these criminals, are not willing to give up. And I must also tell you that the ZANU-PF old guard is watching, laughing in their corners. So you actually don't know how Zimbabwe works, right? But let's listen to Mavedzenga, please.
It is likely that we will see another military coup. In terms of the Zimbabwean jurisprudence that we have at the moment, Professor Baduku reminds us all the time that the law is what the court says, It is. It is not what Justice or Igbo or any of these people say. It is what the court says. The court, in a case of Liberal Democrats versus President of Zimbabwe, a case where there was a challenge to the way President Mnangagwa came to power in 2017. That case was in the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court said the action that was taken by the military in 2017 is lawful. It's constitutionally valid because all the institutions that are supposed to safeguard democracy had been captured by President Mugabe's administration. What that does in a very dangerous way is that it creates legality for a coup in the event that they proceed with their 2030 agenda and go to the Constitutional Court, and the Constitutional Court endorses that. If there is sufficient rancor amongst the citizens, it is possible that there will be a military coup in Zimbabwe. And I am afraid to say, in terms of the jurisprudence that we have currently, that coup would be lawful. So I end there, but it would be another set.
In terms of the Chiweshe judgment.
So the Chiweshe judgment was in the High Court. The Chiweshe judgment was in the High Court. And then what the applicant in Liberal Democrats did is to launch a fresh challenge in the Constitutional Court. And the Constitutional Court basically upheld the Chiweshe judgment in the High Court and said this is the law.
Just elaborate briefly. What was the import of that ruling? Explain to the audience that the military has a right to intervene, right?
The import is very clear. It's that the military, in terms of the law that we have, the position outlined by the court, the military has a right to intervene when democratic institutions are captured and are no longer functional. So if the military feels that the institutions are captured, as they felt in 2017 November, the court in Liberal Democrats versus President of Zimbabwe says you can intervene. That's the import. And it's as scary as it is, but that is the import.
Okay.
It is very clear, Zimbabweans, that this is the time that we need intervention, because criminals capitalize on violence, abduction, torture. I think I've mentioned that before, and killings. And they use the guns to instill fear into well-behaved citizens. So the only way out is for the military to do what they did in 2017, freeing an innocent people. Zimbabwe, you and I, we deserve a normal society. We really do deserve a normal society. But at the same time, we're also paying a price for concealing, nursing, toxicity, evil. We were busy romanticizing criminality. Some people used to say that you can actually commit crime in ZANU-PF and you're untouchable. I can never forget Wajgajena after the 5 million scandal of court co-farmers, where he said, 2013 nenge papa, I'm not teacher. Why is Wajgajena? Because I can't see him anywhere these days. Life has got a way of humbling people. But also, guys, remember what Geza said. Geza made it very clear that Mnangagwa is the problem because he protects criminals. I've always been saying, if I have to look at Mnangagwa, I equate him with what's currently going on in South Africa with the gangs, the criminal syndicates that they've caught, right? Because tell me a president who protects criminals. Is this serious? You guys have seen how Zimbabwe is spreading and caused toxicity in different countries. Mozambique, Tanzania recently, Kenya. They are destabilizing the region for a reason, just for them to control. But we are better than these Zimbabweans, don't we? The charade of Kudata Igwere will be stopped. Let him spend the money that he stole, but we'll take all our money back from criminals. It is as simple as that. Anyway, guys, I want to hear what you think in the comment section. Please don't forget to share the video with others, comment respectively, and I'll see you later on. I love you, bless you, and bless Zimbabwe. Bye for now.